Hawaii has lost a true icon of the music industry. Uncle Tom Moffett died at his home early this morning at the age of 85. Moffat's entertainment career spanned over 7 decades. He first made his name as a radio disc jockey in the 1950s before becoming an extraordinary concert and special events promoter. He was an important part of Hawaii's rock and roll history as a member of K-Poi's Poi Boys. As a promoter, Moffett brought some of the biggest names in music to Hawaii: Elvis, the Rolling Stones, Elton John, the Eagles, Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra, and Bruno Mars. Here's a look at Tom Moffett in his own words.
The first show, big rock and roll show I emceed was Elvis at the old stadium.
Kind of hard to concentrate this afternoon. Yeah, it's hard for me to concentrate anytime.
I was kind of the champion of Elvis here. I played his records. He got a lot of mail. I think more per capita from Hawaii than just about anywhere in the country.
There's never been an entertainer who has sold as many tickets as Michael Jackson in Hawaii. Over 60,000 tickets sold in one day. Well over 60. I mean, it was unbelievable. I just enjoy it, and I enjoy seeing people happy and enjoying a concert.
Hey, it's Bruno Mars. He's come into his own, and we put him on sale, and it's sold out.
Have you ever wanted to be a rock star?
No, I'm satisfied staying behind the scenes.
Anyone who knew Tom Moffett will tell you he was a man of his word. Bridget Namata continues our coverage. Bridget.
Joe, how was Tom Moffett able to have such a successful entertainment career that went on for decades? Well, his friends tell me they've never met a more genuine man who was always true to his word, and that's how he was able to do his job well. People trusted him.
I was thinking this morning when I found out that he had passed away, I don't think there probably has ever been anyone in the entertainment business, radio, television, concerts, that has had a bigger impact on Hawaii than Tom Moffett. He's the very top guy.
Former Poi Boy Don Robb says he's watched over the years as Moffett brought in music powerhouses like Elvis, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, the Beach Boys to Hawaii.
The name Tom Moffett, when it went on that contract, it was good enough for everybody back there, all the big stars. Oh, Tom Moffett, that's fine. So he was a man of his word, a man of very high integrity.
Up until 2 months ago, Moffett was still hosting a weekly radio show at 107.9 Cool Gold.
Bigger than life, but at the same time, he would pick up the phones every single day and loved talking to everybody. And he just had this charisma, you know? And he always lived up to his end of the bargain.
But he's also known as the man who brought the big acts to Hawaii. And current concert promoters tell us the pressure is on.
To fill Tom's shoes is huge. So that's something that we've always aspired to and really just want to push forward and keep doing that.
He's set the standard, and, you know, like, we've always just wanted to be like Tom.
Robbs agrees, says Moffett set the standard in the entertainment industry, and his friendship will be missed.
He was too ill at the end to have guests or visitors, so I didn't get a chance to say goodbye and tell him I love him.
Moffett was born in Detroit but moved to Hawaii in 1950. He was also a supporter of local talent and is credited for supporting Bruno Mars's early career. Bridget Namata, KHON 2 News.
Those of us who knew him well remember Tom Moffett as a man who had a true passion for music and the people of Hawaii. He was loved by superstars and everyday folks alike. Manola Morales joins us with that part of Uncle Tom's story. Manola?
Joe, friends tell me Moffett just had that gift that made you like him right away. But his talent also includes producing some of the most popular music from Hawaii. The tributes kept coming from listeners at the Cool Gold Oldies radio station, where Moffett had a weekly show.
I remember sitting close by him at Elvis's concert in Hawaii.
Wow.
He was such a legend. I miss him. I'm going to be crying for days like I did when Elvis passed.
Passionate fans of someone who truly enjoyed talking to the people of Hawaii. As a promoter, Uncle Tom brought in some of the greatest concerts to the islands, but radio was his first love. When he was in front of that mic, that was his playtime.
He thrived on that exchange, you know, what went out over the air and what he got back. So he was like a little kid. I mean, he was a little, had a streak of mischievousness, and he had a great sense of humor.
It's a passion that also showed when he first started promoting concerts. Nationally known talent manager Shep Gordon was his business partner.
We did the Michael Jackson shows and the Rolling Stones and U2. So I got to not only be friends with him, but do business with him. And I always said he was the luckiest guy I know, because Tom would have paid to go to his concerts. He got real joy from the music. He loved the artists.
So the artist returned that love right back.
He had relationships with people like Jimmy Buffett, Willie Nelson, that went on for years and years and years. I just got a beautiful text from Willie saying, "Is it true? Is Tom really gone? That sweet, sweet man?"
Looking out upon the city lights.
And that includes local artists. He also produced one of the most popular records to come out of Hawaii, Honolulu City Lights by Keola and Kapono Beamer.
Tom had the vision to sort of see that, you know, back in those days before anybody, you know, recognized the potential of that material that Tom did.
Also included in that album, a familiar tune at the end of our newscast. His longtime radio producer, Bart Da Silva, tells me in some way Moffett also produced or promoted tourism in Hawaii by bringing all those great acts to the islands. Manola Morales, KHON 2 News.
I was lucky to call Tom Moffett a friend for 45 years. He was a true American showman with the heart of a Hawaiian. In recent months, Moffett had battled prostate cancer that had spread. Deepest condolences tonight to Moffett's wife of 55 years, Sweetie Moffett, and their son, Troy.